Hey, Greece and Rome people. Got another email today that's very interesting to me. At first, it seemed like I would just answer it and let it go, but it occurred to me it is also a nice springboard for another video. Why do I limit the format my books come in to physical copies rather than Kindles or electronic versions in general? I feel really strongly about this topic, and I don't think it's only a matter of me being older than you. I think it's also a matter of feeling that there's something intrinsically valuable to what I call real books. That is, physical books that you can hold in your hands and flip the pages of and highlight the pages of if you're so disposed and all that. But most importantly for this video, I'm going to focus on the fact that another thing you can do with what I will call, and I'll stop qualifying it from now on, real books, is place them on shelves. At first it sounds kind of innocent, big deal. You place the real book on a shelf versus what I'll call a fake book on your computer, in your phone. Yes, you can call it up, you can look at it, you can even virtually highlight it. But one thing you can't do, at least not yet, maybe that's the next Shark Tank idea, is put an electronic version of a book on a shelf next to other books. And even though you could do that virtually in a picture, you can conceive of doing that. I've even thought of doing that myself. And I know that others have done something like this. You have the virtual bookshelf and you're looking at the titles next to each other. Yeah, you can kind of do that, but there's something about the physical books standing next to each other and being organized on real shelves in various ways, whether it be chronologically. I prefer not alphabetically because that seems pretty haphazard, but chronologically is my favorite. This idea that you can it can internalize the relationships between the different writers when they lived, when they did what they did, and how it might have influenced subsequent writers and so on. Kind of like the same reinforcing way that if you have a globe in your room, you can't help but every once in a while swing it around and take a look at the relationships between the different sovereign states in the world and get a geographical sense that you may not otherwise be as strong about were you not to have that reinforcement constantly as you walk in whatever room the globe is in. Or even maps on walls achieve the same thing. Well, that's how I feel about real books. I feel that there is a benefit to having them arranged in a way that is significant to you insofar as you believe that history matters. That is, relationships, temporal relationships between writers over time, the way they lead up to other writers, and certain writers in combination with each other leading up to certain movements, resulting in ways of doing things that might be a bit different from the way other writers do things. I'll give you an example. As I look up at my shelf at the poetry books, I notice that I have Dante, Chaucer, Sidney, Shakespeare, and so on. Then I move on into the Romantics, then I move on into the early moderns, and then I move on into contemporary poets. There are a lot of different things going on between these different authors, and I don't think I would have internalized as vivid a sense of the differences between the way, say, Shakespeare does something and the way, say, Berryman does something, or Bukowski, or Charles Wright. And these are important things to me and to many other people, including people the age of my students. I've had students tell me that they too prefer physical books to electronic books for reasons that are similar to, if not identical with, what I just said. The sense of history or whatever. They have certain favorite authors. They want to know the oeuvre of this author. There are all the books that author has published right in front of me. I can get a sense of now, is this nerdy stuff? Yeah, kind of it is, isn't it? But that's okay. I can live with that. I'm kind of way beyond that. I've been committed to this stuff for quite a while, and maybe you are too, so maybe you can relate to what I'm saying. Maybe not. And I'll tell you what, let's engage about it if you feel like it. Even one or two of you, write something down there. Disagree with me. Tell me I'm full of it. agree with me. Tell me I'm not full of it, or at least not about this, and I will read them and respond to them, because I really, again, very nerdy, I know, feel strongly about this topic, and I think that books, well, I know that books are important, and physical books are books that you have a substantial relationship to in a way that books on your computer, which, let's face it, in a, you know, ultimate scenario, could one day not even be there. Whereas the books on your shelves, gosh forbid, there's anything like, whatever, I don't even want to say the word, but any way that the book disappears, yeah, that's true too for a physical book. But you get my drift. There's just something substantial about a real book that, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I don't care, that can't be denied and that has significance. And that's what I tried to impart here as to why I don't put out my book or my books in Kindle form, at least not yet. One day, I don't know, maybe I will, but I like to know that any book of mine that is out in the world is in hardbound form, and if not, it's not supposed to be there, because that's what I want. Anyway, I think I've said enough about this, and I don't know if you find it interesting or not. If not, don't worry about it. If you do, let's talk down there in the comments. All right, bye.